What's going on, everybody? This is Mitchell, and today, me and Thumb Action, aka Justin, we're going to be talking about let it be her idea, let it be her choice, and being the woman's best option. The reason why we want to talk about this today is because I struggled through this a lot when I was younger, and it took me a long time to try to understand this. So, yeah, that's going to be our topic. And Justin's going to take about maybe 5 minutes before he gets on the line. So, I'm waiting for all you guys to come in. And another thing is, if you guys feel inclined to give a donation, you like our content, our Venmo and PayPal will be in the description in our profiles and down below as well. And everything is appreciated. If you have questions, put it down below. Let me see. We're just waiting for Mr. Justin to come in. Let it be her choice. What's good, Eddie? How you doing? Gwen, how are you? How are you? Our topic is let it be her idea, let it be a choice, and being a woman's best option. Oh man, you being too kind, Eddie. You doing good with your singing and everything. That's dope. Keep doing it, man. You got that good quality, that backdrop. And you know what I'm talking about. That's not the only thing you dropping. You know what I mean. Yeah. Let's see. Yakub, I see you on. What's good? How you doing? Yeah. Being her best option. So, I just came in to see my ugly face. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. Well, let me kind of just start it off. Waiting for Justin, Yakub. So, the reason why being the woman's best option and the reason why we talk about being let it be her choice is because if it's the woman's choice, she's just gonna all you gotta do is walk through the doors. All you gotta do is walk through the doors. She will make it easier for you. Oh yeah, we're gonna catch up for sure, man. Thank you. Just being her best option, you will get one. You're gonna be focusing on yourself, and you will only go up from there, right? If you focus on the woman, every you will always be behind her. You as a guy, you want to be a leader. You want to start guiding the woman's path, and she wants to share her completeness with you. And we spoke about that early on in the last episode. But chasing woman almost guarantees rejection. And what I mean by chasing woman is it doesn't count when she already likes you. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, if the girl's at like a 5 and like or a 4, right, in a level of like how much she likes you and stuff, she's not going to try to give you like she's already not feeling you, and on top of that, you are annoying her right now. She definitely don't want to talk to you. And what I mean by that too is most men out there, they kind of talk the way out of women liking them. They talk the way out, whether it's text, you talking on the phone for too long, right? Now it's different when you're in a relationship. You guys should talk. You guys should communicate because communication is key. Most women just want to be heard, so it's also important to just say, "Yo, look, baby, do you want me to listen, or do you want me to give you my advice?" Like, there's a difference, right? Because women solve their problems by talking to just by talking about it, versus how men, we're more logical creatures. Where I'm not saying that we're smarter than women. I'm saying is, look, if you got 3 apples and I got 2 apples, then you have more apples than me, and that's just straight facts. What's good, Justin? Let's add you in right now. Good to have them into you're just not at the stalker level. Exactly. Right. Yo, what's good, Justin? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's good, homie? How you doing, man?
Good, good. Kind of just I got this. Look at that pan.
I know I got
Yeah,
this
yeah,
stand.
yeah,
I'm trying to get it to
yeah, yeah,
look right.
yeah,
Cool, we in there?
yeah.
We in
You're
there?
cool. We in here. We got
Oh,
Eddie.
yeah.
I kind of gave him a little, a brief kind of summary of let it be her choice, let it be her idea. What's up, Bonnie? How you doing? Happy Tuesday.
What's up, peoples? What's up, y'all
Yeah.
cool, man? My brother over there.
Mm-hmm.
Brother from another mother.
Yeah. Yep. So I broke it down a little bit. Giving let it be her idea, let it be a choice. I know I said it like a million times. It sounds like a broken record, but chasing women guarantees rejection most of the time.
Yeah.
I want to say 90+%. All right. If you want to take that chance, it's up to you. I'm here to increase your chances and better your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Most
hmm
definitely.
So, is there anything that you want to start us off with, Justin?
Um, glow. Oh, yeah, I got that glow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Halo. God is
You
on my
got
side. No, no, that's a
today.
lot. That's a big.
Yeah.
That's a huge.
Mhm.
I mean, like you said, we talked about when we was discussing like the show and everything. We was saying like, it's her choice, which is an old term. I've heard this. I heard it's an old term. I've heard it before. I heard it from pimps. I'm gonna be honest with you. I heard it from pimps. That's a pimp term.
Is
It
that is
got to
that where
be.
we got it from?
That's where I first heard it from. All right, I'm not saying that's where we got it from, but that's what
hmm
sparked the mind. I'm also from the
hmm
Midwest.
hmm
Okay, so I'm sure there are some differences as far as
Yeah. Yeah.
influences there.
hmm
But yeah, it being her choice,
hmm
basically saying that you can't force it.
hmm
You cannot force it. If you like a woman, you're attracted to her. You're trying to bring her to you,
hmm
and you can't. And she, at a certain point, you just got to realize, you know what? She ain't choosing me. That's her loss. You got to keep it moving.
hmm
And that's pretty much the summary of
And why is that important though? Why is that important for the men out there that it sounds counterintuitive. Like why are we not chasing? If we want to chase, wouldn't that be the correct choice of action?
it. I mean, yeah, but I think that like anything, they are levels.
hmm
You know, I do think
hmm
like when you say chase,
hmm
it's a bit of a loaded word.
hmm
Chasing too much can make you seem desperate.
hmm
Most definitely, like you don't have nothing going on,
hmm
and that's kind of where like society has screwed us over too.
hmm
Because you see romantic comedies, it's always like the dude's never giving up, and he's always
Yeah,
chasing, and he
yeah.
falling in love, and that shit don't work.
And
That
at
shit
the end of
never.
the day, they're like, oh, and the girl just realized, oh shit, I'm just gonna drop my panties for this dude now because he's persistent, and that's never the case. Maybe if she,
Exactly,
maybe if
and
she desperate.
that ain't how it works.
No.
All right, yes,
No.
Iceberg Slim, Pimp is a wonderful book. I own the book. Okay, it's
Yeah.
a great book. All
Get the
right.
ice ice limit.
It really is. If you don't know who Iceberg Slim is, look him up. Um, but no, most definitely, man. And like like I said, especially like you feel self-proclaimed nice guy,
Mhm.
you just getting into the thing. Like we grow up on this whole romantic comedy bullshit that tells you like, oh yeah, just be a good guy, just stick in and she'll recognize. And the truth
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
that shit ain't how it works.
No.
Sometimes, sometimes it's just a no. Sometimes she ain't feeling.
hmm
It's important. I think it's important to realize like you ain't gonna get everybody. You could be the most fly motherfucker in the world,
hmm
and there's just some people that just ain't gonna feel it. You
Exactly.
know. So
And I want to touch base on what you just said earlier. Being nice is not the issue. You should be nice to women. Like don't be a dick. You know what I mean? Like being
yeah.
nice is one thing, but you also got to be confident in what you do, right?
Oh
That's the
yeah. I
most
would.
important factor is the confidence. I'm
I think
nice.
confidence is everything.
Confidence is it's a big chunk. It's a huge chunk.
Yeah. Man, it is a huge chunk, but
Yeah.
I'm just straight up gonna say, excuse me.
Yeah.
I think confidence is everything. That's why that term "fake it till you make it" is so
Mhm.
popular.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
it's so popular, and you'll be surprised by how many people who are successful now
Mhm.
faked it until they made it.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Mhm.
But the thing is, and what we talked about before,
Mhm.
which is about like building real confidence.
Mhm.
Not building
Mhm.
that fleeting shit.
Mhm.
We both talked before. Like I know we talk a lot about relationships. That's pretty
Mhm.
much the whole point of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we talk about
Mhm.
like, approach and all this stuff. But the funny thing is, like,
Mhm.
neither one of us are necessarily big fan of pickup artists.
No. I mean, at
Yeah.
one point, I kind of looked into it just because I felt like I lacked a lot, whether
Hmm.
it's like the approach or I'm just anxiety. Like, I have anxieties
Yeah.
talking to a girl. That was a big issue for me. Like, oh man, my two older brothers, I don't want to get into it, but they gave me hell through that shit. They're like, yo, just go fucking talk to her. I was like, look, I'm not in the mood no more. You've been making me feel bad, right?
Yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Hell yeah.
I don't have that confidence to approach her like that no more. So it's
Yeah.
different.
No, I
Yeah.
do understand, man.
Hmm.
I'm same. I mean, same here. That's how I got involved in it.
Hmm.
Like, and, kind of on this subject from
Hmm.
many levels, not even from a romantic level, but
Hmm.
like from a like, look, if we being honest, if we
Hmm.
being honest with folks, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I remember staying up at night,
Hmm.
like sneaking and watching like HBO specials, like Pimps Up, Hoes Down and stuff.
No, okay.
No joke for real. And then I went
Uh,
off, and then, but there was always this part of me that I just couldn't understand. Like these women would be on here telling these horrible stories,
okay.
like horrible shit,
Hmm.
and they'd be like, "I'm like, why are you giving this motherfucker all your money? Like that don't make no sense to me."
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And let me preference this by saying there is a lot of shit that goes into that. It's a lot of darkness. It's a lot of damaged people and
Yeah.
sociopaths,
Yeah.
but
And that's not what
there
we preach. We don't
that
preach
is
that.
no, God, no, God, no.
That's not what we preach.
From a hell no,
No.
nowhere near. But it is insane how much of like that psychology and then
Hmm.
the psychology used from like pickup artists, how much actually intermingles as
Hmm.
far as like a fundamental understanding.
Hmm.
It like it's terrifying if you really
Yeah.
think about it. And that's why I was, it was joking, but it's true. The whole like she has to choose you, like that is a pimp thing. Like the girl has to choose you. She has to
Hmm.
choose to be out there for you.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's kind of like taking that idea and
Hmm.
like flipping it a bit, stripping it down from like all that negative shit
Hmm. Hmm.
to something positive about
Yeah.
making, which we talk about, make yourself like the only choice.
Hmm.
Make yourself the obvious choice.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
which is really the key. Which goes back to working on
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I kind of want to touch base on that too as well, which is when let's just say, okay, so a woman of beauty, she will have multiple options. You are not the only guy in her life because there are other type of fish, if you will, floating around her in her orbit at least, and she's the center, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we were talking about earlier is being the best option for her is, if you are a guy that has insecurities is not a bad it's not a bad thing unless you make it a bad thing. I see insecurity as it's a good sign for you to be like, okay, well, that guy, he has something that I don't. Maybe he's, I don't know, better looking. He has more money than me, or whatever it may be. Like if he has more money than you, then figure out your finances. If he's better looking than you, then take a look at yourself in the mirror and be like, well, maybe I could be a little bit healthier. I could get a gym membership. I could do something for myself to improve myself. And those insecurities it's gonna build your confidence, and that's the most important thing too. Is to work on yourself, because at the end of the
That's the
day,
biggest thing, man.
working on yourself, there's no regrets. There's no regrets because it's for
Yeah,
you.
most definitely.
It's for
Most
you,
definitely.
and they will
I
see that.
mean,
They will see that.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we're building yourself up to be the best choice.
Mhm.
And you gotta use whatever motivation that
Mhm.
you have.
Mhm.
I mean, just going what you said, you have insecurity. Dog, I had so many insecurities growing up,
Mhm. Mhm.
and the truth is, I have a lot of insecurities now.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I think the difference is
Mhm.
now I have the tools to understand and
To
at least
understand it, yeah.
try to attack those
Mhm.
insecurities.
Mhm.
And if I'm not where
Mhm.
I'm at, I know it's my fault.
Mhm. It's okay.
And when I was being younger and stuff,
Mhm.
you do feel powerless in a lot of ways. I think at least I felt that way, and I
Mhm.
think a lot of
Mhm.
people do.
Yeah.
You brought up the looks. One thing I remember, I talked to this guy,
Mhm.
and he said something that stuck with me forever. And this was like, I don't know, this was years ago. I was like in my
Mhm.
early 20s,
Mhm.
and he was like a model, but he was
Okay.
not a famous big, but little things here and there.
Mhm.
And he told me he goes, anyone could be a model. He was like, it's just a lot of work. He was like, it's just a lot of upkeep. You got to stay in shape. You got to stay manicured. You have to. He was like, anybody could do it. And just hearing that, I don't know, from somebody who was in that world, it stuck with me. Like, oh, okay, like you know, and like at one point, I was
It's being an Android.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
And even androids have insecurities. Terminator, homie. He was doubting himself for killing John Connor. In the later movies, which weren't so good. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Like you know, like I said, like anyone, I've had insecurities about like you know how I look, physical attributes and stuff. And it was like I just remember that like anybody, if you put in the work, if you really want to be a pretty boy, most people can be that pretty boy if you're willing to put in the work for it. You know, so like it's just.
Sometimes you got to put down that plate. You already know how it tastes like. Just put it down. Don't need too much.
Dog. Look, and I'm gonna be real. This quarantine, your boy they got fat as fuck. Sugar is my cocaine. Okay,
it is cocaine.
Sugar is my cocaine. I wish I did cocaine besides loving a good piece of cake or a donut or something. Man, like at least it is rough. But once again, you know, that's an insecurity that I know I have a bit right now. Trying to work on. It's like, okay, I know what I need to do. Leave the sugar alone. Drink some green smoothies. Do some push-ups. Don't be a lazy
things
bastard.
to help improve yourself. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, I wrote down a couple things too as well, where you know I talked about how like the little girl be like the daddy for the little girl, right? Like that's your daughter. The daughter is, you know, she's feeling sad or she's not feeling well because school is making fun of her, is picking on her in school, whatever, right? And then the little girl will come to the dad, and the dad will be that rock, that emotional strength, where he's just gonna be like, look, it's okay, you know, your daddy's number one, blah blah blah. Like same kind of concept where like when your girl is not feeling well, she just want to be heard, listen to her, and she just want to be heard, okay? And it's important to ask, hey, do you want me to listen or do you want me to give you my advice? Because there are two different things. Women solve the problems by talking about it, because I don't know if people out there ever heard a woman talk. That after they talk about it, they say, oh, I feel so much better. Versus a guy is more logical based. And when I said logical, I don't mean we're smarter than you. I'm just saying we're more fact driven. Like if you got 3 apples, and I got 2 apples. Fix
the problem.
Or
dudes want to fix the problem.
Let me go into my man cave. I need to be alone. I could figure this out. That's a man's thing to do. So you know, it's just being there and letting her feel secured, because that's more of a feminine trait, and that's reassurance. It's reassurance. You know, anything you want to add on to that, Justin?
I mean, honestly, I think you pretty much hit it all. It's just trying to realize like when you know, do they need to vent or is it a problem that needs to be solved? And at certain points, you just gotta ask, like, do you want advice or you just need to get this off your chest? You know,
don't want to be. Yaku said, plus guys don't want a solution but likes to give out riddles.
Women do like.
Yo, what's good, Eddie? How you doing? Yeah,
they be upset, and it's like you don't even know why sometimes. It is what it. Listen, it is what it is. We know what we signed up for when we get involved, so you just gotta take it as it comes. At least that's how I see it. Take it as it comes.
Yeah, and you know. Most guys think that, look, I need to do more things. I need to chase this girl. I need to call her. Like, if I don't, she's going to forget about me. But one thing that a lot of guys forget is attraction grows in space. They need time away from you to miss you. And I'm going to say that again. The girl needs time away from your ass to miss you. Okay, now it's different when you guys are living together, but still there's different ways to approach that, right? But you know, for the people that's just trying to get the girl, leave her alone. She'll come back. And if she don't come back, then that's her loss. But as long as you are her best option and she still don't want that, that's all up on her.
Well, I mean, and it goes to a point I wanted to make that we talked about before. It was like, you just gotta be ready to take the loss. Yeah. You gotta be ready to get take
the L. Man, I take that shit all the time on sneaker app.
Yeah, it may not work out.
It's
I know you done had me try to help you get some sneakers before just to get those.
Every now and then. Every now and then. I mean,
that sneaker game ain't for me. You know,
That's
but
all cool.
I do
It's all
understand.
good. That's all good.
But yeah, I think that's a big thing. Like you have to be
Mm-hmm.
ready to take the L. You know, like you said, it's her choice. You can't force it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't force it. Work on yourself. Become the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Become the obvious choice. You know, and even if you do that, hey, you tried. You tried to play
your
the
best.
game. You tried your best. You put it out
Yeah.
there. You didn't get nothing from it.
Yeah.
Just be ready to take the L and let it go. You know, but to say it on that though, taking the L, I do think it's important to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, what do you
set
mean by that?
boundaries.
Yeah.
I mean that if the whole like, hey, I want to take you on a date, and if she
Mm-hmm.
says no,
Mm-hmm.
but we could be friends,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, nah,
Nah,
I'm
man, I
not
got
looking for
friends. I
friends. I
have
got enough
friends.
friends
Yeah,
because you
I got
set
enough
yourself
friends.
up to basically be quote unquote emergency dick. All right,
Emergency, not even dick. Like you're a dick in a
you're
glass
like
box.
you're in the box. Yes, you're in the glass box. That
You're a dick in a glass box.
but
Yeah.
this is the problem: is she will never really have to break that box.
No,
You
she
know,
won't. She got plenty. Why would she need
and
yours?
and I think you most definitely run the risk of putting yourself in the position of being like all boyfriend's responsibilities with none of the boyfriend benefits, if
Benefits.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, and they call a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
it's been called a lot of things. It's been called sipping. It's been called, you
Yeah.
know, friends out, whatever you want to call it. You know, you run the risk. But that's
Yeah.
another reason of taking that L is you got to be ready to kind of say goodbye to this person.
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
if it don't work out how you really want it to,
Look, put
you
that thing on the table. Let it be known as there.
know,
If you don't want
yeah,
it, it's all good. But keep
yeah.
and what we mean by that is keep your intentions clear.
Yeah.
Keep your
Keep your
intentions clear.
intentions clear,
Yeah.
and I mean, and that even goes back. We talked a while
Yeah.
ago about authenticity and
Mm-hmm.
being true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to be her friends under false pretenses.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like a fucked up friendship on both of y'all. That's fucked up
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
You know, because you say, "Oh, I'm gonna be your friend," and now you're in this space as a friend. But the truth is, you
You
really,
want to just put your dick in her.
you want
Yeah.
to be, but like, so you kind of like just creeping around, like
Yeah.
waiting for a good time to. Dog, that's some
Nah.
predatory shit. And I say that saying, like, I know,
Yeah.
I'm assuming most dudes did
Leaving the
this.
calling card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plant the seed,
Yeah.
go out, and then goes to
Yeah.
another point I want to make. And this sounds kind of like manipulative, and I don't mean it that way, but I think it's just true
Mm-hmm.
to life. Is like that jealousy is a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask her out, she ain't feeling it. First off, she see you able to walk away. That already displays like a certain level of confidence you have for yourself.
Yeah.
Then if you out like living your life,
Uh-huh.
especially if it's like somebody like y'all got a similar circle or you run into them anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and they see you living your life having a good time, they seeing other people around you feeding off your energy, or being put in better positions, like it's gonna be natural that some kind of jealousy or something gonna kick in and just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why I could have had that, or like, what does this woman have? I'm better. I know I could be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What
Like
does he have? What's so special about this dude? Like I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, exactly. So like that stuff kicks in, man. It's hard. And it's real. People can try to deny. They can try to act like that shit ain't true.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just it's base.
Yeah.
It's based on everybody. So you will be very surprised. Like having the confidence and the power to like just walk away from something is, man, that's
number one.
That's everything. Everything.
And that goes for like anything else. It's not just relationships. It's like business too. Walking away from it and meaning. That's it.
Yeah,
but
it's huge. It's huge in business. Yeah,
that's
everything.
But the most important part about that sentence that you just said is to walk away and really like be authentic to yourself and be like, look, I'm gonna walk away. I'm not coming back, and that's it. Because the last thing you want is to walk away and come back in. It's like at that point you're kind of cherry picking. It's like, well, you don't know where you stand. You want that deal, but you're not gonna get that deal because I know you want it. So you're just coming back and forth. So being a walk away and mean it. Yeah, kind of like a poker table.
Yeah. Hey, you can walk away.
I don't play poker, but yeah.
Yeah, it's being knowing when to walk away, and then to
walk away and
refer back to stuff.
Stay firm.
It goes back to like like we would say being unaffected and like the stoicism, because you need to have a clarity of mind to kind of recognize the situation for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
which can be hard if you really like somebody
Mm-hmm.
or you're really enamored with somebody and you want this to happen.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to be able to step back and be like, okay, where am I at with this?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? Where is this? Is this moving in my direction? Is this just playing hard to
Yeah.
get, or am I putting myself in a position where I'm not comfortable with, where I'm gonna end up
Mm-hmm.
like giving more than I want to give,
Mm-hmm.
and not getting what I want in return?
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I don't even mean just sex. I mean just like the relationship or
Mm-hmm.
the reciprocal of that energy or that effort that you're putting in.
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting back what I'm putting out?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't feel like it, nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's time to take that and walk away.
Take
Take
the
that
L,
L, man.
walk away and mean it. That's
And
it.
that's the thing is like you ain't even really taking the L by doing that. You saving yourself time. You could go out. You might go out and meet somebody better. You never know.
It's kind of like knowing your self-worth too. You
Yeah,
have to know
most
your self-worth. You have to know your self-worth. If you don't know how much you're worth, what makes you think other people will appreciate you?
No, yeah, I mean, we was talking about you gotta be your biggest cheerleader, man.
Yeah.
And like I follow, I have an issue with this myself because I can beat up on myself. I know where I want to be. I know where I'm at with certain goals in my life. I ain't necessarily happy with, for various reasons. But at the end, that shit's on me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's on me if I ain't where I want to be. You can beat yourself up about it. Like I do that. I do that a lot, just being honest. But it's like, nah, man, you gotta be your own biggest cheerleader too.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody else going to.
No. Nobody else. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You have to. You got to big up yourself.
Yeah. And
you look at yourself and I look at myself all the time. I'd be like, look at what you've done to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You fat motherfucker. Like you can lose this weight.
Yeah, you could.
You can lose this weight. Lose it.
You gotta pick it.
Do it. And I look, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've been slimming down a bit.
Yeah.
I've been slimming down a bit, getting on my shit.
I can see you looking a little,
you know what I mean?
Slimmer. Yeah, I see it, man.
Yeah,
even with that nice white backdrop, you look like.
Well, that's just the holy. That's that. See, I was about to go real nerdy on you right there. I was about to go in my nerdy anime bag and say that's that line stand of pride, boy. That's the power of the sun right
I know some people that's watching this that would know, but I wouldn't know.
My boy Escanor, you know about it. Look him up.
Nope.
No,
but let me know. Let me know about.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, I kind of want to touch base on what we were talking about being her best option, and when you are her option, what's good, Nat? Being her best option, and also just knowing where you stand with her. Knowing where you stand with her is gonna be a big difference, because if you know where you stand with her, you don't need reassurance. You don't need. So you're a guy. You're a rock. You're the masculine. Like you put out this masculine energy. This is what you put out. And a guy that has that does not need to ask, "Hey, so are we exclusive? Like, what are we? Are you seeing anybody else?" And yada yada yada. Look, like I said from before, a girl with beauty has a lot of options. You are not the only choice. You want to be her best choice. You don't need to know where you stand with her. All you need to know is you gave it your best shot, but you are improving yourself every single fucking time you step out there. And just knowing that, you don't have to ask that, because when you ask those type of questions, like, oh, where am I at with you? Like, how are we? That's reassurance. And reassurance is more of a feminine trait. It's more of a feminine trait. And you know what? There are some girls out there that might like it, but majority of the girls out there, you trying to play that probability, is not going to be in your favor. So that's why I'm saying what I say is not always going to fit for everybody, but you could play your chances.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of that stuff. I mean, I do think like being confident is key. Yeah. And but I will say this: I think it is important to state what you want. If you're feeling if you're feeling a woman and you want it to be monogamous, or you want it to be like, you are my woman, like, you like, let her know that. I personally say, like, let her know, like, look, I like you, okay. I like what you bring, and I like whatever it is, however you want to say it. But just be real. I don't play games. Like, I try not to, at least. Like, I said, don't play that game. Let's be like, listen. But it's more about how instead of like what. Yeah, if you're like, so are you seeing anybody? Or that's not a good look.
That's not a good look.
You don't want that. But just be honest.
No,
State
like
what
you
you
could
want.
you could say, you be like, no, I like you a lot. But the
Yeah,
thing is, if
I'm feeling it.
the girl likes you, if she's really feeling you and she wants you, she will let you know. She will give you hints. She will
Yeah,
drop
most
hints.
definitely.
And
Most
it's your
definitely.
choice, it's your job too as a guy to kind of pick up on those. Like, so the girl would say something like, so what are we? Um, we've been seeing each other for a couple months. Like, y'all kissed already, y'all held hands. You doing everything that a boyfriend and a girlfriend does, but you're
Hmm.
just not in that label. Now, other people have different opinions about this, but my personal take on it is to have the girl's choice on it. Because if it's her choice, you would never be rejected.
No, I do agree with that. I would
You
say
don't,
like
she'd be like,
like look,
yeah,
if I'm being real,
mm-hmm,
like I do think like if you
yeah,
kind of dating and you don't know where this is going
mm-hmm,
as a dude and you wanted to kind of go more somewhere, I think
mm-hmm,
what you do is instead of asking like show those traits. You know what I mean? Show those traits.
mm-hmm,
If you the dude and you want this woman to be your woman, then do things for her that you would only do for your woman. But I will say you have to do it within that within a boundary.
yeah.
Does that make sense? Like
Like, I
you
wouldn't
have to
buy a
know
girl that's not my girl flowers. That's not what I would do.
stuff.
Like, I just
Yeah,
don't buy
yeah,
flowers. I won't. You're not my girl. Why
yeah,
would I buy you flowers?
yeah.
Yeah,
What do you say?
yeah,
Lots of times you just let them know what you are about and do, and just ask if she wants to. Yeah, no, I mean that's really what it is. Like, yeah, do you
yeah.
want? I mean, I keep going back to circle it back. Basically, y'all keep spitting old pimp logic. Like, you want to be on my team? You see how I run. You see what I'm
Yeah,
doing. You want to be on my team?
yeah.
If not, all right, I can keep it
It's,
moving. If you
yeah,
do, this is
cool.
how we get down. Yeah, because I mean, like I said, and I think that kind of even goes into what I was talking about. Like, if you want a girl to be a woman, then I say you start giving her glimpses of what it would be like for her to
Mm-hmm.
be your woman, and she'll naturally
Want
like
it if she
want to.
wants
Yeah,
it. If she wants
yeah,
it, yeah.
yeah. If she wants that role,
She
she'll
will
naturally
ask.
want that. She'll naturally want that
Yeah.
role. And you gotta remember too, dudes. Like, you gotta like honestly, you also give a job interviews on this. Like this is really like a job interview for like and I'm saying this if you want like a long term relationship,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is a job interview for a life partner. So you need to find somebody that's gonna like fit what you would really what you feel like you're gonna need out of life
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to succeed and to get to your goals.
Yeah.
So it's like if you ain't you know so like when I say treat her like you would your woman, I ain't saying do that shit arbitrarily. Don't just do it as a tactic because you're gonna really start tapping into some like deep feelings and shit like that. But
Mm-hmm.
this is your time too to figure out like what is this woman really about?
Mm-hmm.
Is this like is this someone I want to ride with
Yeah.
like that? And if
Mm-hmm.
not, be a man, be honest, and be like, look, I don't see a future for this for us.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being stand up, man. You gotta be a stand up dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
And like as we keep saying, work on yourself, man. As long as you work on
Mm-hmm.
yourself, like a lot of that confidence shit is gonna follow. If you're insecure about something, like you was touching on earlier,
Mm-hmm.
work on that insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, small steps.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
insecure about finances, work on
Work.
getting your money up. Get a
Yeah.
second job. Maybe just try to save money. Maybe
Or
however you
maybe,
want to
yeah,
do it.
try to figure it out how to improve
Yeah,
yourself so that you can make more in less time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Yep.
you want to say, I want to cut my funds and I want to have this much money saved.
Yeah.
Like however you want to do it. But like work on that problem. Just by working on it, you're
Yeah.
gonna instantly already start feeling better.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
a lot of it is, if you guys haven't already picked up on this already, it's a lot of it is working on yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
It's working on yourself, whether it's physical, mental, right, or your finance, whatever it is. Just really focus on yourself. But there is a strategy to improve your chances on getting that woman, that girl, right? There are strategies, and we're here to help you guys with that. But ultimately, unlike the whole pickup artist idea, what they believe in, it's like if you're trying to just go to a club, I mean, not right now, but like if you're trying to just go to a club, you're just trying to get it in at night, you know, like, hey, pickup artists might be for you. You know, that's not what we preach. I don't really preach that. It's only because that it kind of it gets you the right step into that door, but it kind of always leads most men to the wrong direction, like the wrong conclusion, where they just out there manipulating women, and that's not what I preach. I'm trying to help men maintain a relationship for the woman and understand the woman that maybe sometimes she don't want to hear you talk. She don't need your advice. You know, I said that a million times. It sounds like a broken record, but you know,
Yeah, I mean, we talk and look,
yeah,
just be honest. We was talking about like what we gonna do a show on next, and I think we'll probably go into like
yeah,
pickup artists and just kind of that whole situation. But yeah, we both feel the same. I'm not a fan of pickup artists. I think that my problem with them kind of similar, but it's like they're good at like a pickup artist is great at getting you laid.
yeah, yeah,
They're great at getting you laid. They can
yeah,
tell you what you need to do to get laid, but the problem is, what do you do after that?
yeah.
Like, I think getting laid is like a basic step. That's
Hmm.
like, that's
Entry
it's
level,
it's base.
a
It's really base.
prerequisites.
I mean, seriously, you could read a book, you could listen to. I mean, Neil
Hmm.
Strauss, The Game,
Hmm.
famous for the book. That's a
Oh yeah,
famous book for
Neil
dudes reading
Strauss.
and figuring out how to pick up girls. Like, you could follow that book, and I ain't gonna. It has a lot of great advice if you are intimidated by. Yeah,
Neglect
they
the soul.
neglect the
Yeah,
soul.
yeah,
Yeah, like if you are intimidated by talking to women or whatever it is,
yeah.
it might be a great intro. But yeah, it
It's a
neglects
good
the
intro.
soul.
Yeah,
It's a great intro, and it's a lot of false bravado. It's surface changes.
hmm.
Like
It's
you could put on a
temporary too. Yeah,
show. It's
hmm.
temporary.
Yeah, it's
You
very
you feel
temporary.
you got a shit ton of game until the morning after,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah,
simp
and
you gonna
that's
come
it.
back
Yeah.
out if that's who
Mhm.
you are. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
Like
if you not if yeah yeah the
so.
simple you will come back out. Yeah,
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 it
exactly,
is what it
exactly.
is. But so
Or
like.
not, or not. Maybe you really you understand women. There's a
I
possibility
mean,
too.
maybe you do, or
Yeah,
maybe
but I'm just
it's a
yeah
it's a it's a lot. It's a
yeah
lot that goes into
yeah
once again like the whole pickup artist,
yeah
and just like yeah, if you're just trying to like have sex with women, then I mean, and honestly nowadays,
yeah
I don't even know if it's that hard. Like ain't that what Tinder is? Ain't Tinder the
yeah
whole concept of like we just don't beat and then keep it
yeah
moving?
yeah pretty much.
Like, so, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So swipe right or left or
Yeah
however you
yeah
say
yeah
yes or no. I don't know, do what you
yeah.
want to do. But yeah, don't like yeah, great intro, like you said. But
Hmm.
I do think it leads you
But
to like a darker
yeah
place, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is,
You can end up hurting a lot of people
yeah,
too, which
you
is
you will
most never
if
gonna
you do that. You know, a
yeah.
woman just wants to be heard and understood. You know, I think Neil said it best. Legs up like a peace sign, right? So when a woman feels heard and understood, legs up like a peace sign. And if you don't understand what that means, you're probably too young, okay? But if a woman does not understand, they don't want to hear you or whatever, like you're not trying to hear them out, you don't understand them, that shit closes. That's it. That's it. Hello, hello, how you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are, you know, a lot of people are out here because they want solutions too as well, right? Now, you know, you mentioned it earlier. Put that thing on a table, let it be known. No, let them know your intentions, right?
Yeah, you gotta let them know what you want. I mean,
Right?
and
So,
then this is and then I will caveat it with this. This is just from like a meeting somebody. You
mhm,
know, there are a lot of variations to this game. You trying to like pick up
mhm,
if you're in like the workplace or some shit, that's a
mhm.
whole other game you gotta play. You know
When,
what I mean?
when,
No, like if you work with somebody and you
oh
trying to
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you got HR there, you got a whole bunch of other
Yeah,
shit that
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
you
that's
need to be
different.
careful
Like
of.
this is like you
Yeah,
out there, you see a girl that you like, just go for it, right? And
yeah, most definitely.
the solution is how you put that out there on the table. How do you let them know? Ask them out. Look, I'm feeling you. You know, maybe if you got time sometime this week, if you're free, you know, and most of the time, maybe if they feeling you, they will say, I have time this Saturday after, I don't know, 6 p.m. or whatever. Or if they don't give you a time, just be like, well, I'm pretty busy this week. Okay, leave it off the table. Do not message her again. Look in my eyes, guys. Do not message her again until maybe about a week later. Okay, because no one wants a guy that's constantly on their back. Hey, so did you figure out your schedule yet? Hey, let me like. There is no agenda. There's no time on like how a girl feels about you. Like you gotta attract her, right? That comes with strategy. So here's a little bit of strategy. If she says no, give it a week, and you message her a week later. She still says no, and she does not give you a time. She does not like your ass like that. And walk away, mean it, and never talk to her ever again. Because if you put yourself in that situation and still kind of go back to her and be like, hey, so how you doing? Even though she turned you down, what makes you think she want to bring up those legs for you?
I mean, yeah, it goes
Yeah.
back to what we were saying about
Yeah.
just being, you gotta be willing to take the L.
Yeah, you gotta
That's
take
all
the
it
L,
is.
and it's
I think
okay.
that's
It's
sometimes you
walk
gotta be
away
willing to take the L, and
and learn.
it is
And
it
learn
is
from
what
it.
it is. You
And
gotta
learn
take
from it.
that. Just be willing for it. Be willing, yeah. Be willing to take that loss, man. That you
Yeah.
know, and you know when you know it's all good. You can keep it moving. You know you're gonna do what you do anyway.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, remember, have your goals, have your purpose, have what you want to work on.
Yeah.
You know, have your own life.
Mhm.
You know, do your best not to be just caught up in all of that. And like, and I will say, I know it's hard in this day and age. It's with, you know, with COVID and the
Mhm.
lockdowns and
Mhm.
like all the
Mhm.
shit that's going on. It's hard to kind of, it can be hard to find a pattern or to like maybe feel, you start feel stagnant, like you know, making moves in your life
Mhm.
because you can't go out,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, you
or
shouldn't.
like,
Oh, you
or you
shouldn't go out.
shouldn't, or like
Yeah.
things are limited
Yeah.
and all this shit.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
this is a good, I think this is a great time to sit down and really
Yeah.
reevaluate what you're working on, you know, so
Work
that
on
when things
yourself
do
right now.
open up
Mhm.
or that things start, you start being
Mhm.
able to make the moves you need to make. You got a solid game plan. Maybe
Mhm.
you now relay some groundwork.
Mhm.
You know, you can
There
keep
are
in there. Yeah,
resources. There's
yeah, it's
resources
research.
out there. If
No,
you
I mean we
so
got the
Google,
internet, man. We
Google,
got the
man.
internet. Like it's weird. I was talking last night. It's
Mhm.
like we
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
all the knowledge of the world in our fucking hand.
Yeah. Like, do you really even need to go to school anymore?
I
It
mean,
kind of made me think
if
that
we no no no
sometimes.
no no
Sometimes.
if we being honest, it's like depending on the field you're going to,
Yeah.
school might hold you
Not.
back.
Yeah.
It might be just like for real. That's
But
just
don't
real
quote
talk.
us. Do not quote us on that.
Yeah,
This
I
is how
ain't
I feel.
go to school. I ain't
Go
saying
to
don't
school.
go to
Yeah.
school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like don't listen to your parents. You got your plan because I'm still trying to figure shit out. But yeah, it's like you'll be surprised. So you know, there's a lot of resources out there, and whatever you want to do, man. And there's a group for it. So what he said, there was a guy in high school that kept telling me to tell my sister hi, and sister never acknowledged. The more it happened, the more annoyed she got. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because it looked, and I mean, and once again, look, I when I criticize these dudes, I'm criticizing from a point of like, I have been there, I have done that, and you look like a bitch. I've had friends tell a girl hi for me before. That shit don't work out. You look like a bitch. It's like you can't even say hi to me.
Yeah.
You can't say hi. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're gonna have somebody make the introduction for you, you gotta be
Yeah.
real smooth with that shit. It can work. I've seen it work, but you know, you
Not all the time. Maybe that's only because
no
she
no no
also
no
had
no.
interest too. So that's not really. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say that like it would depend. Like I saw this dude. I saw this. I knew this
Mm-hmm.
dude who was kind
Mm-hmm.
of smooth. He was trying to like he wanted to hook up with this girl. We was out. He didn't know her, you know, but
Yeah.
he was one of those dudes who that don't work with Intel. But like we was at this party, like his
Mm-hmm.
girl knew it, and he was like, "Hey yo, what's up with her? What's her name?" And she was like, "Oh, that, you know," she gave the lowdown like he, you know, seeing anybody. Nothing. He was like, "Hey, well, why don't you go up? Why don't you hook me
Yeah.
up?" And it
Yeah.
was like,
Welcome
well,
back,
you know,
Eddie. Yeah.
what's up, man?
Yeah.
And so, but the way he did it, which I thought, oh shit, that was smooth,
Okay.
was
How you do it? I'm
like
curious.
he was like, go see what's up with it. And she
Yeah.
went to talk, and when she was talking to him, and like right when the girl looked up to see who he was, he walked right in. So it wasn't like he was laying back, like being
Ah.
shy,
Okay.
like
Okay.
you
Okay.
know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
as soon as
Yeah.
she looked up,
It's
he
like a
went, and
little
bam,
intro, but I'm still putting in the work.
exactly. And I
Okay.
was like, and at the time, you know, I didn't really understand what was really
Yeah.
going on. But then I
Yeah.
looked
Yeah.
back at it, I was like, oh shit, that was smooth as fuck. Because it shows like a level of like
A
interest.
respect.
You already show
Respect
interest and like
mutual.
respect because you kind of like, all right, I got this person. But like as soon as she looked up, he was already in there. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And it was
It's
like,
not like you in the back, like, hey yo,
yeah, or
that,
look at
like that,
shy.
like that Squirtle in the back, just creeping and
Yes,
shit, and then
yes,
be like, yeah.
like you're creeping Squirtle. Is that Squirtle? I don't know Pokemon. It's like what 338 of
I
them.
fucking love Squirtle, and that's my backlight right
Okay.
behind me. But
So yeah,
yeah,
you talking
that's
about
Squirtle.
me? Some people know Squirtle. I brought up
Yeah,
Blind Centipede Escanor. People know what I'm talking about.
some.
All
But
right.
you know what? Actually, so that's a success story. I want to talk about a lot of stories that don't actually turn out like that. Which is, I know a guy that asked one of his friends and was like, "Yo, can you give this flower?" Right? Imagine this flower. Can you give this flower to
Mhm.
her? So he was like, sure. So he walked up to her and was like, so my friend over there wants to give you this flower. And so the girl ended up liking the guy that gave the flower, not the guy that passed it on.
Mhm.
So I was like, all right. Because, in reality, it's like, well, that's the guy that had the confidence. That guy was in the back like that Squirtle.
Yeah.
Don't be like Squirtle. I love Squirtle, but don't be like that guy right now. All right. So
Yeah, you have to. I'm no
yeah,
same. I mean, look,
yeah,
I knew this. I had a really, really good friend back in the day when I was in college,
yeah.
and he had a friend who was cool. So it's like somebody I knew through somebody, and like this dude, he was a cool. The guy, his friend was a really good dude, but he was
Mhm.
super nerdy.
Yeah.
Not like even a bad looking guy, but just he was hardcore in the computers. Like back then, he was just like a super nerdy dude,
Yeah, yeah,
and they had a friend who was a girl
yeah. Mhm.
who, I mean, she was gorgeous. I don't know how else to put it, man. It's Filipino
Mhm.
girl. She was fine, and
Mhm.
the nerdy dude was head over heels
Okay.
over this girl, head over
Okay.
heels.
Okay.
And he was trying his best to figure out how he could like, approach it and all this
Mhm.
stuff. And like I had no game at this time, so I was no help. And
That's all good.
no,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah,
I was not. But this the weird thing about it is I did have some kind of like intuition,
yeah.
but I
Okay.
didn't know what it was. And like, long story short, his game ended up was like he was gonna write how he feels on this card and leave
Okay.
it on her windshield
All right.
so she could see the card and read it. And in my head, I was like, I think that's a terrible idea.
Okay.
Now I did, you know what I'm saying, but like I didn't know why I
Yeah,
thought that.
yeah,
Thought
yeah,
like I didn't understand,
yeah,
like we were
yeah,
talking about the confidence part and the
yeah.
actually
Mhm.
approaching and not looking bitch made and scared and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was just like I just remember thinking like that is a horrible idea. That is horrible. Don't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he was so like
yeah,
gun ho on that
yeah,
shit,
yeah, yeah. And what happened?
and it didn't work. Nigga. She left the car. He left the car on there. She ran
Was
it,
that was that shit on the floor?
and they wasn't free. I
Was
don't know
that
if it
shit?
was on the floor. I think she was more respectable than that, but she
I
was like,
Yeah. I'm
it
like, does
was
this guy
done.
know where I live?
And
That's
then
what I'm
even
worried
then,
about.
it fucked their friendship up. Like, cause she hung out a few times, and all of a sudden she just didn't start hanging out anymore and shit.
Oh, okay,
You
okay,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
Natural
like,
reaction. Yeah.
but now it's like looking back, I was like, that's why I was like, that is a horrible idea. But I
Yeah.
didn't know what the hell to say,
Yeah.
But oh
Yeah.
yeah, Yaku brought up
Just
this
like
dude.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
fashion. Yeah,
there
remember the
was a
fashion
guy.
design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that his name was Troy. Troy stuttered
Stuttering,
like a
but still
sub bitch.
surrounded by the top girls. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was hardcore into that fashion shit too. Troy was on his game. That dude stuttered like a motherfucker, boy. He stuttered
Yeah.
like a movie character. But he was,
Yeah.
Troy was,
Yeah.
so right, intensely
It's a
bad
bad
idea.
idea. Yeah, it's a bad idea. But
I didn't know how to vocalize it, but even me at that time, I was wearing a Vegeta shirt at the time, so
Mhm.
I wasn't getting no fucking. You know what I
And
mean?
you can still rock that and still but a
Well,
lot of
I
top.
could
Yeah.
I can rock it now because I like what I like. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's an
yeah.
air to that. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's back in the day where look, I got a Thanos shirt on now. My boy Thanos,
Yeah.
Infinity Snap.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was I just remember thinking like,
Now,
God,
Bonnie was like, does a guy's fashion matter a lot to women? Yes and no, because that's the
yeah.
first. I'm gonna let you go, Justin. Go ahead.
No, actually, this is a funny question because you have probably the two directly opposed people in fashion. Like, I consider Mitchell pretty fashionable. You up on like
Sometimes you
like
should
the
see me on
brands
a
and
regular
shit.
day, man. You
I
should
don't
see me
give
on a
I don't give a fuck for real. I really don't. But I will say this: the fashion matters too. That do you look clean and presentable?
Yeah.
You
Does
don't
your breath smell
necessarily.
like shit?
Yeah,
Do
you
you
don't
have good
necessarily
hygiene?
have to have like
Hmm.
the fanciest clothes, but if you look put together, you
Yeah.
look presentable,
Hmm.
especially if you dress, I mean, to be honest, I think it's like different, dressing for like the audience you're going to and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then I will say this too. While I ain't the biggest shoe person, I will say like if you're going out, like keeping having some clean kicks.
Yeah.
It don't have to be Jordans. I ain't
It
saying
don't
the
have to
later
be
that, but just
$1,000.
but just
Yeah.
have your shoes clean, looking presentable. You
Don't
good?
have the
So
shoelace all untied and shit,
yeah,
like it's mopping the floor. Yeah. Don't
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Don't
Like
matter.
so, yeah. Fashion matters, but then it doesn't. It matters in the regards of like
And
clean and put
that
together.
that also brings me a little thing too for like guys, like they don't always have to take out girls to the nicest, fanciest restaurant, especially in a first date. Like, what are you trying to do? You trying to wow her? Basically, a girl will see that as like a bribe for sex. Like, you trying to wow me, show me how much money you got and whatever, just so that you get in my panties. Like that doesn't always work. But hey, if you really like that restaurant and you really like that place, go for it by all means. But like, you don't always have to wow that woman like that.
Yeah, I
If they're
mean,
happy to be
yeah,
with you,
yeah,
they're happy to be with you.
yeah. Look, you can
Yeah,
have a great date. Just go and get a cup of coffee.
yeah. Starbucks.
You can go to a cup of coffee. You can go.
Yeah.
You can keep it low key. And plus, I worry about this too. Like, you gotta worry about escalation. Like, if you take
Yeah.
if you blow it out like that first date, what the fuck you gonna do on the second date?
Yeah.
What the fuck you gonna do on the third date?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta
But
plan for the long haul.
your boy
You
got
know?
some some up the sleeves though. You always gotta. Damn, why you gotta be so damn cute for? Like, how? And she got nothing else to say. She go, oh, I'm feeling good. She makes me feel good.
No, I feel you, but I do. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna. I do. I'm like Commissioner Gordon at the end of Batman Begins. Escalation is a motherfucker. Okay,
Yeah.
so be wary of that shit. It's
Yeah.
real. It is
Yeah.
real.
So
That's why you
yeah,
go to the fair. Yeah, you go to the fair. Like, whatever. It's all about having fun and being
just
able
having
to.
fun. Hang out and have fun, man. Men out there, hang out.
Once
And have
again,
fun.
and I do think it's like you gotta for guys out there, most definitely, you gotta change your mindset on dates.
Yeah.
I do think that like it's not so much that you're trying to impress somebody. I
Mhm.
try to do it as you legitimately try to look at it like I'm trying to get to know this person. Is this somebody I even want to be bothered with?
Mhm.
For real. Which sounds arrogant, but it's really like you gotta look out for yourself. Like that's how I look at that's how like I would look at a first date now.
Mhm.
It's like if I'm going on a first date with somebody that I
Mhm.
don't know, I just met or whatever, you go on that date, I'm like, is this somebody? Let me know what you're about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the purpose of the date. You ain't there to prove yourself. She already said yes. You've proven that she at least is curious to get to know you.
You're lucky to have that chance too.
Yeah.
Well,
So
not lucky, but yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So you got like look at that shit. Like, all right, let me see if this person, if this somebody I even really want to be bothered with, because you might not want to be bothered with her.
Yeah.
She might be crazy. You
Yeah.
don't know.
She might look
You
good, but she's crazy.
you don't know. You don't know.
Don't stick your dick in crazy, guys. I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not worth it. She'll come back like Chucky.
I mean, you can try.
Yeah.
Hey,
yo, that's up to you.
Sometimes you don't know.
Don't do
But
it.
you gotta like that. You gotta leave. Yeah, that crazy is. And I will say this: like you, like dudes.
Yeah.
You ain't ready for woman crazy. You ain't ready for it. Woman
Yeah.
crazy is a whole nother level. We are grossly inadequate to really deal with woman crazy. All right,
Yeah.
at least I am. Maybe it's a motherfucker out
Mhm.
there who knows like crazy women. I can't because
Yeah.
I heard stories from like removed, and I'm like, God damn, like yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, beware of that shit.
Yeah.
And it's and I will say this too, it's a different level of crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, listen, you got crazy dudes out there, and a crazy dude is terrifying for a woman. So that's a whole other
Mhm.
subject. I ain't even gonna get on
Yeah.
that because that's another beast. But
Yeah.
like, for a dude, if a dude is too crazy, most guys think like, I'll have to whoop this dude's ass, or I had to put him in the ground. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like a final solution to
Mhm.
that shit. Like woman crazy though? Oh no, you talking about straight psychological warfare.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know if any dude is really, really prepped
And even if you're prepped, you still might lose.
for
It's
that level.
hard. It's hard. Yeah, for that type of
That
level. Yeah.
level of terrorism. Listen, you gotta have I quote him all the time, but I think he's one of the greatest comedians or philosophers that ever lived, the great Patrice O'Neal.
Mm-hmm.
He said something that was true. The tenacity of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? The tenacity of that means crazy people have a different level of energy than sane people.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be argued that all the greats in the world had a level like it. I know you're not the biggest sports fan, but there's this great documentary called The Last Dance. It's on Netflix now. It's about Michael Jordan.
I kind of watched it a little bit. Yeah, go on.
Dog, it's phenomenal. If you're a basketball fan, and I'm not even the biggest sports fan, but I grew up in it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I learned from that, like Jordan is a fucking lunatic. Do you hear me? He's fucking crazy, but you have to be that crazy to have that level of greatness.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be.
Mm-hmm.
It is another. This motherfucker. It's a meme. It's actually a joke between me and my girl now. It's a meme that you like. It's a game you play. You have I want you to, anyone who never saw that documentary, this is a great game. All right. If you watch The Last Dance, I want you to have a shot glass. And anytime Jordan says the phrase in some variation, I took it as a personal offense. Take a shot. All right. That is some crazy, man. I mean, little shit. He was like, I was at a restaurant, and this player on the other team, he walked by, and he didn't say hello to me. I took that in a personal offense, so I had to bust his ass on the court yesterday, and I scored 65 points. Like, dog, why? Why?
Yeah.
Or he was like, this kid that we played a year, which is a real story, this dude, Tony Kukoc. The general manager said that this guy was a great player. And
Jordan took it.
The general manager was like, he's a great player. And Jordan took this shit as a personal offense. Like, oh, he great? Let me show you how great he is. And, like, tortured this kid for game. And it's just like, no, but once again, you ain't ready for that level of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we got 2 more minutes before this live ends. Why don't we give a quick summary to kind of summarize everything that we kind of spoke about? I could start it off first. Let it be her choice, guys. Let it be her choice. Let her be her idea. Be her best option. If you have any insecurities of your own, that's a good sign for you to kind of pick that up and work on that yourself. No girl want to be pressured into, you don't want to pressure her into liking you. All you want to do is focus.
That's assault.
yeah, it is. Or something else. But, let it be her idea. No girl wants to be forced, right? As long as it is her choice, you will not be rejected. You won't, because it's her choice. Hang out and have fun. That's all you really got to do. And if it doesn't go your way, maybe it's her loss. You learn something new that day. You improving yourself. This is your mission. This is your purpose. Just focus on that. And yeah, that's really pretty much the summary of what we've been talking about this whole time. Anything else you want to add, Justin?
I mean, no, you did. I mean, I'm just be ready to take the L.
Yeah.
Be ready to take the L. And in the long run, it's not even a real loss, man. Like, a lot of shit's in our head. And like we keep saying, you got to be your biggest cheerleader. This is old advice. We just, hopefully maybe put a different spin on it. Maybe somebody hearing it for the first time, but this is old shit. Do your homework. And yeah, man, just like be your biggest cheerleader. Big up yourself, man. Be a good person. Be a good person, Yeah.
And thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys listening to our conversations too, right? We're not like professionals at this. We just kind of learn as things went along. We did a lot of mistakes. And if you guys ever feel inclined to send us a donation, our information will be in our profile or down below as well. So you can always find that. There's no pressure, but at least share it with your friends. At the very least, share it with your friends. And that's it. Until next time, we're out.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Peace, man.
Peace.
Peace.